Morning, Pepper. Morning, world. It's the weekend and it's miserable. Look at the state of it. A little bit of a late start for me this morning. I somehow managed to oversleep, so which is not like me. Anyway, breakfast is done. Just got to do my few tasks out here, and then, providing you can hear me because it is windy, we've got a new arrival down the barn. So, yep, pond is still full. That's a good model that's going to need repairing, and can't do that till this dries up, so maybe even next year. Come on. It's the only downside doing it this time of year. It was going to make a mess. Come on. Right, we got a calf. Go see the calf. Well, you won't go see the calf. I don't think they cow like that very much. Don't need that. Okay, so probably still just the one. There he is. Hello, Mum. Right. We still haven't determined what flavour it is yet. I put money on bull calf. I've got a 50-50 chance of having it right. So we need to sort out some clean bedding in here because it's got a bit mucky. Oh, he's just woke up. The problem with putting a clean bedding in means I've got to chuck this lot out to do it, so he's on his feet now, so maybe I'll just do that now. In an ideal world, we'd separate him up and put him and Mum in a little pen by themselves for a couple of days, but we've always found with the Dexters, they take on mothership or mothering really fast, and we've never ever had an issue. So we usually leave the calves in with the crowd. Some people will say, well, you shouldn't do that, it's dodgy and dangerous and you could have mismothering, but we've never ever had an issue. So anyway, he, she, whatever it is, I reckon it's a he, has got a lovely pink nose. Right, well, like I said, he's up, so we might as well just get this done. I was thinking I was going to have to do one half and then the other half, which is a pain, but I reckon we'll get away with this. Right, so I'm getting in the pen with cow and calf. As far as I'm aware, she's not a calf-proud cow, never had a problem with her before, but it's worthwhile always being very, very wary that if she suddenly turns calf-proud, I'm in here by myself. And if she decides to give me a hiding, there's not a lot I can do about it. So we'll just gauge her temper before we do anything else. It's got a very short tail. Right, go on. Go on. Go on. She's going to move. That's a bull calf. Right, you. Can you get up, please? I need you to move. Sorry to be a pain. I'm sorry. But, needs must. Come on. Nice and gently. If you don't mind just going out so I can give you some clean bedding. Thank you. Go on, gently, gently. You could have done that outside. Gently does it. He's all right. Go on. Go on. Gently does it. Gently does it. Right. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but I'll say it again. We've had a few extremely wet days. And it never helps. Never helps. It just gets everything wet and mucky. Come on. Come on. Shift it back. Thank you. And you. Come on. There you go. Move over. Good girl. I won't be long. Okay, so. I've got a little bit of time. We'll put a fresh bale in there. Fresh layer of chip in here. We have got some straw, but the chip seems to be going down pretty well for a minute, so I'm just going to reserve the straw for a rainy day. Here comes the rain again. The problems of having no door on the cab. When it rains, I get wet. But I can go back in the house and get dry. So I ought to at least be able to afford that same benefit onto the cows. I really want to scrape out the yard at the other end again as well. I think it's a case of I've still got the muck spreader on, it's not being cleaned out, and the ground's wet but not sodden, so maybe I'll scrape out and put it in there. About 2 bucketfuls per side. In about a week I'll have to start taking the top layer back off again, which will make cleaning out a bit longer, but as long as this is behaving itself, not too much of a chore. Okay, so that's the bale's done in that side and the bedding, so I'm going to shoot right now, shut the door, let them back in so that calf can actually come back in again in the dry. Then we'll feed these guys here because they're complaining because I haven't given them a course mix yet, and then I think we'll have a cup of tea. I'll let them settle down and we have to tag that calf. Now the cow seems okay. Tagging calves is something I tend not to do unless I can separate the calf away from mum and there's a physical barrier between her and me, or if I've got somebody else with me, because she was okay with me pushing her at the barn gently just now. That wasn't too much of an issue, but the second I sit on that calf and pierce one of his ears, if he starts to bellow, sometimes that can just flick a switch in mum's brain, and that's it, she'll have you. She'll just take you out. So it's not a job you do either by yourself or without some physical barrier between you and the cow. And as I've got no help, I have to be cautious with that. So it may not even get done today. If I don't find the opportunity to tag that calf safely today, let's face it, I've got 27 days to do it in, or to register the calf in. But if I can't do it safely and I've got nobody here to give me some help or drive the cow off should she decide to attack me, then it's safer not to do it. So those of you that keep cattle will know exactly what I'm talking about. Those that you that don't may not understand, but it is literally the second that calf bellows in fear, discomfort, shock, surprise, whatever it is, it can literally just flick a switch in the cow's brain and she just goes instantaneously into attack mode. So I don't think she will, but I'm not willing to take the risk. Right, let's go and let them in. So when you pull a big door like this round by yourself and there's only a little bit of wind, you kind of appreciate maybe the old sail ships. You know, you think, how much power is in the wind really? And then you look at sort of some of our big old Peninsular War sail ships and the what acre of sail some have had on there. There's a terrific amount of power in that wind. All right, so they now have a tidy, clean bed. So this is probably, well, it's definitely not the driest wood chip I've got because I'd have to dig right into the pile for that. But it is pretty dry. Right, mother and baby are out there. I want them back in here. So we will open the gate and gently encourage them back in. Excuse me. Thank you. Anytime today. In your own time. Don't rush. You know. Yeah, no, don't stop either. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah, thank you. Alright, I can hear Mum talking to baby. So we're just going to go around and see if we can... Yeah, that is definitely bull calf. No, you don't want to go through there. I'll let you finish what you're doing. All right, Mum. And she's lost her tag, but I know she's 117, so... Right, ready? I want you to go around that way. Go on. Go on. Go on, baby. Go on, baby. Go on. That's it. No, I didn't want you to do it that way. Not that way. Let's not go that way. There you go. That's where we want you. Right. Look at him with his little pink nose. So he'll probably come back in. Well, he is back in, obviously. He's already back in. he will probably go and find a quiet little corner there to go and lie down, out the way, and he'll stay there most of the day. So quite often calves only get up to feed off mum 2 or 3 times a day. You know, they'll have a good guts full, then they'll go and lie down and just spend hours digesting it. So there he is. Well, she seems reasonably calm. I'm fairly confident that I could probably get the calf in the race later on. I'm going to let them settle down now. I'll put the calf in the race later on, and I'll put his earrings in. So, anyway, so it's a boy. Well, they all seem calm enough now. 1 or 2 comments have came up about, it wasn't long since I weaned the calves and they haven't really had time to dry up, and that is absolutely true. It is true. We would normally, by choice, wean the calves around about mid to end of September, and normally when we wean the calves we take them over to the other farm, to 12 acres over there, and they can't hear mum can't hear them, they can bawl a little bit, but then they just literally get used to being over there, and then they'd come back for Christmas over here and I'd start this feeding course mix then. TB and lockdown and restrictions have changed our yearly annual dairy plans. We couldn't do that. We couldn't take the cattle over to the farm until we were clear of TB, because they were all here. The other farm was in a different county, and although the 2 holdings are linked together, it is a different county, it's a different holding number, and it was just easier in some ways to keep them all here. So yes, the cows didn't really have much time to dry up and put some condition back on or whatever else before they had their new calves. There's pros and cons to that, more cons than pros. The one thing is the cow won't get too fat, the calf won't get too big. These are small cattle. You don't want them to have great big calves. I just as soon have a small calf and then let mum bring it on afterwards, because if you get a great big calf in one of these, I've only ever had 1 bad calving, and that was a bull calf. He had a massive head. He was a dun bull calf. In fact, his pedigree name was Bradley Jack. He was shorty, so we didn't keep him, but he went on to win trophies, but he did have a really big head. All right, I know what you want. Do you remember when they first came in here? I had difficulty getting anywhere near them. It's getting better. You want your brickies? Excuse me, thank you, excuse me, make way. Okay, like I mentioned before, these aren't fed in any way, shape or form in any scientific way. So I'm not working out amount of grub per kilo of body weight or live weight gain or anything like that. Literally all I'm feeding these cattle for is just to give them a bit extra, because it wasn't that long ago since they come off mums, and to tame them. Before they have this, they can be a bit wild. And the problem with wild beef animals, really, really difficult to handle, especially when it comes to things like TB, or if you've got to do anything with a vet. They can get really, well, it's schizophrenic. They just jump about all over the place. So the idea is I give them some grub, they get to know what the bucket is, they understand the rattle of the lid of this, and they want to come to me. About another week or so, I do this in stages. I will then start, if I got a spare 10 or 15 minutes, I'll actually go and sit in there. I'll either sit on the concrete block over there, or I'll sit on the side of it. Always sit with me back to the wall so they can't get behind me. And I'll literally just sit in here for a quiet 10 minutes. And curiosity usually gets the better of them. Sooner or later, they'll come up and have a sniff. So while I'm sitting down, I'm not too much of a threat. And as long as nothing's in there bulling, it's reasonably safe for me to do it. So it's literally just to get in there that hopefully by the end of, well, then coming back out of here, I'll be able to put my hands on any one of them. Some of them will never be tamed, and some of them will just be more than happy to be quite friendly. So, right. Okay, you can have some apples later on. How's that? Yeah? Want some apples? Not many, mind. Makes them a bit. But a few, you could have a few. Okay, right. 10 o'clock. Cup of tea.